Okay, so I'm going to show you how to measure amperage of the fuel pump using the Picoscope. What we've done is we've removed the fuel pump relay here, and on the side we got this nice convenient wiring diagram. We can see that pin number 1 and 2 run the coil inside this relay, and then 3 and 5 are the switch contacts that will run power to that fuel pump. So we have jumped across pin 3 and 5, which are the larger two of those, and we've done that using this fused jumper that we've made. Okay, and then we've got our amp clamp on there, 20 amp mode, and you can see right now we're already taking an amperage reading on our screen because the fuel pump is running, because we've bypassed that relay. Okay, so just sitting here with the fuel pump on, vehicle off, we're at just below 5 amps, but I wanted to see it while it's running. Okay, but I did want to show you on here that we've got our scope set up on channel A. We've selected the probe 60 amps on the current, on the 20 amp mode, and then we are between -5 and 20 amps. We're going to do 5 millisecond divisions for this particular test. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start it and then come back and we'll analyze what's going on. Alright, so we started the engine, we looked at this fuel pump current while the engine was running. You'll notice the amperage went up just slightly while the engine was running. Okay, and then we've paused it so that we can analyze what's going on. So you'll notice first, every one of these little peaks in here represents a commutator bar inside of that fuel pump. Okay, if you can find any distinguishing characteristics in here, we could figure out how many commutator bars are. I noticed that every once in a while you see one of these commutators come lower than the rest. So we're going to drag out our cursor from this one to this one right here, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 commutator bars inside this fuel pump, and I'd say that's probably the most common number that I've seen. Okay, once you pull out your cursors like that, we automatically get this RPM reading down here, so we can tell how fast this fuel pump is turning. A good specification, I've heard a lot of people say somewhere between 5,000 and 6,000 RPM, but I would increase that range just a little bit, because I'd say most of the fuel pumps I've been measuring are between 6 and 8. So you kind of have a big range there. You'll get used to seeing what's right the more you do this. Okay, another specification that's out there is to complete 1 revolution, it should take between 6.5 and 16.5 milliseconds, and you can see right here that to complete this 1 revolution we're at 8.78 milliseconds, so that's really good. Okay, and then the other thing we'll look at is what is the amperage that this fuel pump is pulling, and we know we're somewhere between 4 and 5.5 there. If you want to get an exact measurement, we can pull up a measurement and say, let's find out what the DC average is between those two rulers that we pulled out, or of the whole trace, since it's all about the same. And you can see down here it pops up and tells us our average amperage is 4.856. So good spec for amperage is between 4 and 8 amps. So this fuel pump looks really good. We got good amperage. All the commutator bars look really even and clean. Our RPM is good. And that's it.